for the interruption. I think OBS crashed. I'm not sure. It just stopped transmitting the signal. I don't think our internet was the issue here. So I don't know at what point the stream actually got cut off, and if it's working now. So we're gonna just chill and check it out. That's unfortunate. I was almost about to restart my PC because I couldn't even quit OBS. Okay, so does it work? Is it actually working? I don't know. Probably, hopefully. Do we have an image? We don't have an image again. That's great. What a lovely start of the day. Okay, great. We have an image, I think. Oh, wait. When we alt tab, does Voidigo just disappear? Or is it the stream that crashed again? I don't know. We will figure it out, and I'll just figure it out on my phone. Wait, I have to look at it. Yeah, okay, so we have an image. That's great. We have an image, and now I just have to figure out how we go back to the chat here. I usually don't use the Twitch app on my phone beyond finding my own chat, because I always watch Twitch on my with my computer. I'm not so much a smartphone guy. Okay, so we are in Voidigo, a roguelike shooter, one of the best I've ever played, probably my favorite I've ever played. And what I just wanted to talk about was that there is a great tutorial if you don't understand what I'm going to explain you. I'm not going to go too in depth because I already explained the game several times because it's an English stream. I'll go quickly over it. The first loop we're going to play. And yeah, you can shoot. Oh wait, okay, let's start. Okay, it's a twin-stick shooter roguelike, okay? And then when you start your run, you can pick different characters. I mean, like Binding of Isaac a little bit. And you also have the opportunity to pick a starting ability. There seem to be two at the moment. This one is kind of hard to explain if you don't know how the game works, but you can jump on people's head a bit like Super Mario, and the more you jump on their heads, the more you charge up and the more damage you do when you land on the ground. Then you have a starting weapon you can choose. They're all very viable. You can change the color of the user interface, the crosshair, whatever. This is just like the entire style. You can see it here in the background. Changes accordingly. I personally prefer the default style because it matches very well with the visual design in-game. And then you have difficulty modes. And yeah, I mean, already this mode is very difficult. I think very few people... I think like 7 or 8% actually beat Intense one run. And we actually beat it yesterday. No, wait, yesterday? Maybe yesterday, maybe the day before yesterday. I think yesterday actually. And yeah, there are a lot of different difficulty modes. This one is like if you're new to action roguelike games, you should go on moderate. And Rogue is like the default mode for people who like action roguelikes. And then there's Intense. Now we're on brutal. And yeah, we're gonna try brutal, of course. And once we're done with all the difficulties, we're gonna try out the different characters. And I'm not sure which difficulty... Yeah, I'm not sure which difficulty I'll actually try to, play on with the other characters. Maybe I'll try going back to Rogue or something. I don't know how different they play. Okay, so you have a map. I should have showed it first. You have a map like, it has, I think... What is it? Seven rooms, and the center room is always like empty. It's more a connector room. And this is like the gun muncher and enter the dungeon. And yeah, so you can shoot at enemies like this. Yeah, you can shoot at them, and then they die, hopefully, and you also die if you get hit. And you can jump on them. And jumping is also the dodge button, so you can jump and dodge. You can stun knock some enemies, which is pretty nice, and it's very important that you learn this mechanic, and it's so much fun. You can also jump on this eye. This eye is very important because at the top you can see the HP bar. There was just, a little part of it had just gotten unlocked by jumping on it. And what it does is basically make the boss take damage. So if you don't do it, the boss is not going to take a lot of damage. And what is really great about the game is that difficulty scales not only by HP or something like that, or damage. It scales with a lot of different factors. So there is stuff like how much HP can you find, how much ammo do you find, how fast are the bullets, how often do the enemies attack, all that, you know, jazz. So you have like still a very fun game, but you have to be more deliberate about your aiming and all that stuff. And since we usually don't miss shots, we don't really have ammo issues so far. But yeah, okay, the gun match, we can't use it actually because we've got one weapon at the moment. At the bottom right, you can see the name of the weapon and the ammunition. And the clip size is on the, you know, the bar on the right. And in the top right corner, you can see our currency. And what's special about this game is that you have to be fast about picking it up. So you really have to go and pick it up as soon as possible, or it will be worth less. And what is also different is that you actually build up the currency over, you actually build up the currency over time by picking up stuff, not immediately, because it's just like, you know, it's a progress bar. You can see it's filling, now it filled once and we get one more currency. So yeah, it's just so you have more stuff to loot, basically. Yeah. And in general, yeah, what are we doing? We're trying to destroy these eyes, and as soon as we destroy the eyes, you can see the bar now is like, I think it's 1/4. You know, it's like unlocked for 1/4. And today I really can't think, I'm sorry. Okay, and what then happens is that the boss can actually spawn, and then the fun part about the game is basically the boss is gonna chase you around the level, and you're also incentivized to either look at the level before you challenge the boss, like before you unlock the things. And I'm not even sure if you would spawn on a timer anyway, so if you can actually do that, but you have to be careful that you don't finish the boss before you're finished exploring, because you know, basically could end up locking yourself in the boss room, which is there to prevent you playing on the level without the boss being spawned, I guess. But I'm not sure, maybe you can even just explore once or whatever. I find fighting and playing the game at this, fighting the boss while exploring the levels to be very fun. It's like very challenging. We've got our second weapon here. It's a saxophone. You can swap between 2 weapons. And our first item, and the items are very nice. They're all very, how would you say? They're very visually represent. You know, they are not only stat upgrades, but they're actually mostly effects you can see in the game, and I really like it if the game doesn't have like pure stats or whatever, you know, 10% more damage or whatever. It's pretty boring, or 10% more attack speed, but here you have really cool effects which you can actually see in the game. I'm going to take crystal impacts because there are also melee weapons, and some of these work melee only or ranged only, and I would prefer if it, you know, worked with both, because I'm not sure what we're going to run in this run. Okay, so you can see in the bottom left the minimap. Yeah, the boss is gonna spawn, like I said, when you, I think it's when you get 2 of the pylons down. And you can see here the map automatically pops up. It's really well made, you can tell, and the boss will attack us. And another thing that's really great about the game is that the way enemies' attacks are choreographed. You can actually see, I mean not choreographed, telegraphed. You can actually tell where he's gonna attack and when he's gonna attack, and it's really, really well made. You never have to ask yourself, oh my god, I'm gonna get hit by what? You just have to be good at dodging, basically. So you have to learn the attack patterns anyway, because, you know, you don't know which attack he's gonna do. Okay, now you can see he doesn't take any more damage, and I'm stupid, I shouldn't have fought him here. Yeah, 1 hit from him, you can tell we're almost dead. We probably would have died if we didn't have the invulnerability bubble which you get when you take too much damage at once. It's just basically a mechanism to prevent you from insta-dying in the game. Yeah, but I really hope that the difficulty is not going to be too high for us, so that we will manage one day to beat it. I wouldn't expect it to be in this run. Yeah, we just died. And yeah, you die pretty quickly on the higher difficulties, but if you really want an easy mode, you basically don't have to worry about it. You just can play on lower difficulties, and I'm pretty sure they will be still challenging to some degree, but you will have a very good time if you don't like too challenging games, because basically the game is just insanely fun to play. It's really, really fun, and The only real downside I have currently is that it's probably 60 FPS. I say probably because you never know, it might be higher FPS, but have like some weird rendering issue when it comes to scrolling or whatever. But the scrolling is very smooth, but just not 120 FPS plus smooth. Okay, so we really have to be careful not to get hit at all, but the thing is, in this game, getting hit is not that bad. It will sound weird because we're almost going to die in one hit, but why is it not that bad? Because actually the game has a dynamic health system which spawns more HP the lower you get HP wise. So it basically prevents the game from having you save up a bunch of HP on floors. And other games also have a solution for this. The solution other games usually take is that they despawn the items after you leave a floor. But here, since you're going to revisit you know, the same rooms over and over anyway, because you're going to be fighting the boss and he might run away to another room, because the boss actually runs away the lower its HP gets. And here you can actually tell that there is an eye, and the eye is, you know, locked at the moment, and it's just basically a key mechanism where you have to kill everybody, every enemy in the room to unlock the item chest. Yeah, and the eyes usually also block the exit. You can tell if you look at the bottom left map, there is a red, you know, there is a red cross here, which indicates that the exit is locked until we destroy the eyes. So basically we have to kill everything in here to get the item and leave the room. And what's also special about these little rooms below is that the boss is not able to come here, so it's basically a safe space. Okay, so here we just unlock the item, and what's also special, I can demonstrate it. We have it here, down here. When you leave the floor, it's gonna lock itself. You know, you can't go back because it would be like, you know, you could just escape from the boss there and cheese him or whatever. And now it's at the top, so the game literally takes the items between, you know, different elevations. Yeah, it's really nice. Okay, now we're going to take a very simple item. We're going to take the bullet lotion, which basically adds rats to our bullets. And today somehow I hurt my tongue yesterday, so my articulation today is probably going to be terrible, but who cares? We're here to practice. And yeah, here you can decide if you want ammo or HP. I don't know why we got 2 actually out of that. That almost never, maybe even never happened. Now you can tell that, I don't know, maybe the boss might spawn. I have no idea actually. Let's just try out to not free the boss. Okay, let's just walk around. Let's figure out if the boss would spawn anyway if we don't play by unlocking it. It's just a test I want to do to see if the game is designed in a way that forces you to play with the boss, or if we could just, you know, go and chill and wait until we want to free the boss. So we could just do like maybe one circle like this, clear the enemies, and then clear the... Oh no, I know why you have... It's so brilliant. See, every time I think maybe there is a loop hole in the design, you know, maybe you can actually cheese, and all my assumptions that they wanted you to play the game while fighting the boss were just bullshit, and that's why maybe the locking at the end doesn't make sense after all. But never mind, because you have to destroy the eyes. Like I just said, the eyes block the exit, so we're gonna be forced to summon the boss after a few floors, rooms, which is really nice. So we could also leave this here, but you know, ammo is very important. It's usually not a limiting factor unless you have a very strong weapon. And the eye is also cool when you jump on it. It also does damage to surrounding foes. Yeah, so now the boss is gonna spawn, and we could fight him here if we wanted to, which is probably advisable, to be honest, because you always want to fight them in rooms where there are no enemies first. Yeah, so this one is pretty annoying because he has very strong attacks, and the attack frequency is a bit higher on this difficulty, which can be very interesting in later games. I don't know what he's doing. He's like not attacking at all after I said that. But I don't know, he's like a summoning boss. You can summon minions and stuff like that, so maybe that's the reason why. Okay, and the boss is going to be faster too. So yeah, now you're going to notice something weird, and there is a second boss. And the reason why there are 2 bosses is because we started the challenge. The challenge is basically the... I don't know how you would call it. It's basically, you know, the thing at the start, the void monster, whatever. And it basically gives you an HP upgrade after a boss and additional rewards. And I think it will be paramount for higher difficulties to use that, because you're actually so dependent on having more than 3 HP on that difficulty to not be like insta-killed by most things. Here's our first medium weapon. I never used this one. Oh yeah, it's cool. They're very different. They even have a combo system where you can reload to reset your combo if you want. This one doesn't have one. This one is just like basic attack. And you can tell it has endurance instead of ammunition, and which is cool. You can see here the ammunition jar on the left has a nut bolt or whatever in it. So if you like nuts, very nice to use mini weapons. And here you can see the invader actually, when I swap to the ranged weapon, this is a ranged weapon, you can tell that the icon actually changes from a nut to, you know, some bullets. Very nice. It's, you know, such small touches show me that this game has an insane amount of attention to detail, but also the basic design is, it's amazing. It's so good. And I really hope that, that I can bring it across somehow, because actually, I don't know, did he just laser me? What the fuck? We're gonna die to this bitch, aren't we? Oh my god, this motherfucker. We actually don't do any damage with the medium weapon. It's a nice meme weapon, I guess, but it doesn't really do a lot for us. Now the question becomes, do we actually want to go for bullets, you know, red bullets, or do we want to go for something that works with everything? Bad slippers are probably also really nice, but I tend to like, you know, damage stuff that really doesn't... I'm not sure. I think I'm really underrating the soul slippers. Oh, we can go for this one instead of the melee weapon. Well, that's cool, because now we can actually regret taking... No, I'm joking. We don't regret taking the crystals. Yeah, this buddy here will... they're all really cool. This one will make a field in combat, which will reverse the bullet trajectory. Sorry, I can't talk today. And that's really nice, because I think the invader is pretty shit. The basic gun is actually so good, you're gonna want it over other guns of similar rarity. Yeah, so here it's very important that we basically first clear the minions, basically. And now it's gonna be a real, you know, real challenge to... Yeah, this difficulty is pretty tough. Did I already mention how fast you can die on this difficulty? Already the difficulty below is really tough. Okay, so this guy basically, we're gonna have to use it, I think. Maybe. Okay, we got another weapon. This weapon's also pretty okay, I guess, you know. The problem is, pretty okay in a game where you die so fast can be not good enough. But I'm gonna try to use it anyway, so we don't only use the shotgun. And there are different difficulty types for the weapons. So there's basically, you know, there's green weapons, blue, purple, orange, whatever, and it just gets rarer and better and better and better. Okay. The thing that really becomes more difficult for me personally is not the bullet speed, but it's more that the enemies really attack much more frequently. You can really tell that, and this gun is really dog shit, actually. We should probably just stick to the shotgun, because we're gonna be up and personal anyway. So we can just munch it and hope we get a new one. Yeah, perfect. We got a blue shotgun, and now actually it's kind of funny because we have two shotguns, but you can tell they shoot kind of differently. The one is a bit faster and has more oomph to it, and the other one doesn't. And there are so far a few kind of similar weapons in the game, but they all are justified. You know, there's a justification for every single one of them. Some might just be better versions of each other if they're really, you know, how do you call it, the same rarity, you know. If they're the same rarity, they're usually very different, but they might be, you know, in between rarities, there might be kind of two shotguns which are kind of samey, but most of them are very unique, and it never feels like you just get the same weapon with a different, you know, damage value or something. Okay, this would be a melee weapon, but I'm pretty sure I don't want to use it, so... Yeah, and you can tell that jumping on enemies is very important. And now we're gonna use a melee weapon that has the combo system. You can tell there's a sword with a 1 next to it above my head. As soon as I hit, I'm in move 2. And see, it is a 2-hit combo. Okay, so 1 hit like this and 1 stab. So slash, stab, and you can just reset it. If I'm at 2, I can demonstrate it, wait. Okay, now I'm at 2, and when I reload, I can go back to 1, just if you want to be sure to start your combo maybe off with a gap close or whatever. Yeah, and they're very strong, usually melee weapons, because they have the disadvantage of being melee. But why do they work so much better than... I mean, they work great in, I don't know, nuclear throne or whatever. But why are they so much more fun to use, I think? Because, you know, you're gonna go melee mostly anywhere when jumping on the head of the enemy. You can just sprint jump into them. Yeah, so it's really, really fun. Yeah, this guy is like insanely annoying. Okay, we just lowered his HP. Now we have to run away to further unlock his HP bar. Okay, we can go here and just, you know, sell the shotgun. Okay, we got the bass and we got the combat rifle, which is probably one of the most basic weapons in the game. But, you know, basic doesn't mean bad. No, basic can be great. Okay, I'm an idiot. And there's also a great mechanic which I'm not going to spoil with HP, which we just noticed yesterday. Okay, now it's going to be... It's really tough to fight against two bosses in the game because they're made in a way that they're very aggressive now. You know, you can tell it's like, for me it's new that there are two bosses. We unlocked it at the same time with a new difficulty. So yeah, and then you also have the minions from the, you know, normal game mode, so it's like... It's like not easy. It's not an easy game on higher difficulties, which is great because I mean I think a lot of people in these games enjoy the difficulty. For my part, I don't think the difficulty is the main draw for me, to be honest, in games. Here we're gonna go in. And going in has the advantage that first of all the bosses are not gonna join us, but also that we can, you know, just go here and enjoy ourselves. But the thing you have to know is that you can't jump on the same enemy multiple times in the game. So it's only possible to jump on them once to build up your combo. I don't know if you can even jump on the same guy multiple times. We can try to test that when it comes to the next enemy. But it's very well designed. You can just, you know, stun lock them permanently. Okay, so now we could go for the snake bullet lotion, which would imply that we're gonna go ranged. Or you can go for the Protectus, which is going to help us also when meleeing. I'm going to go for the Snake Bullet Lotion because I think we're going to use ranged against two bosses. Because it's very risky, I think, to go melee. Because I'm not able to process two simultaneous attacks. Even though we just did 3, I think, at the end. But, you know. Okay, so here it's important that we now focus the right boss. Yeah, so we're doing a lot of damage. I don't know if they have reduced HP when there are two bosses. Maybe a little bit, I don't know. Probably not, I guess. I mean, we do a lot of damage, so that's nice. Okay, we should go and unlock their HP bar further. If this is a shop, we have 18. I think 18 is not enough. We need... well, is 18 not enough? I think we need at least 20 for a passive. I don't want to be buying guns here. 25... Yeah, 25. Okay, so we can just remember 25 is the price of an item which we actually want to buy. Yeah, so as you can see, we can't jump multiple times on the same enemy. We're going to try that out again once we killed a few of them. These one die instantly. It's very different how they react to that. We're going to try to stun lock him, you know, but you can tell we can't jump. You can see. Oh, you know what? We just. Sometimes there's this weird icon above the enemies. I don't know exactly what it does, but you know, maybe it just indicates that we can't jump on them. I have no idea. But actually, you can tell the difference is we have to land on the ground once, so we lose our iframes. I think you're invulnerable while jumping, so it's basically like also adding iframes. Okay, now we unlock their HP further and we can go, and as you can tell, it's really cool. The enemies don't spawn simultaneously. So now we have a little bit of time to fight this one. We can also go down. It's so cool. It's like, it's brilliant. It's fucking brilliant, you know? It's like somebody just evolved roguelike to the next level with their idea. It's like, I don't know, it's like, you know, Miyazaki twisting his own game ideas around for different types of games, you know, like Sekiro, Bloodborne. You all have small twists which really play differently. And this one is really brilliant. It's so amazing how this little, you know, seemingly little thing changes the entire game for me. Are we gonna take the crystal impacts? I mean, I actually like pets in the game. They add a little bit of, you know, visual clutter. But I would say that overall pets are pretty dope. They're very dope, actually, even. Okay, this is like the Trumping Skeleton. It's a melee weapon, which is pretty okay, I guess. We're gonna go full ranged. I just decided we actually picked the snake bullets, so we should not go for melee anymore. Is that a downside? A little bit, maybe. You can actually argue that the fact that you don't have full control over which upgrades and weapons you're gonna get could be, you know, annoying, but it's not really, you know, it works out well. And we have to unlock the eye first, so we can just run away. And now we're gonna be basically able to kill a boss now. Yeah, because we fully unlocked the HP. And we're gonna have to play it smart, because we have to be fast when killing now. We can't just, you know, wait out. Okay, that's our guy. It's cool, you can jump on your own pets. They have an HP bar, so they can just insta-tank everything, you know. And you can tell the combo system is so great. At the beginning I was really hesitant about jumping on enemies. The more you play, the better, you know, it feels. Oh my god, this is like I don't know, it's a shit weapon, I guess. I was like, oh, this is a great weapon. No, it's complete dog shit, but okay. Okay, now we need HP. Yeah, that's great. The game just heard my prayers. Okay, we have to be really careful. I don't know if you can actually combo on a boss, you know, if it's possible to... I think bosses are not stompable. I think the icon indicates that we cannot stomp on something. I just noticed. And now what you will notice is that it's going to get really fucking amazingly annoying to fight these guys, because now they're in their ultimate forms. Their ultimate forms basically make it so that they can fuck you even harder. But it's really fun. I mean, it's like, you know, it's so important that there is the visual representation of the attacks, because it would be fucking impossible to play the game otherwise. Because it's like, you know, it's already now, it's like insanely difficult to not die on this difficulty. The cool thing is the other boss just ran away, so we have all the time in the world to fight this one. Yeah, you have to be really careful with this one, because, oh my god, oh shit, we were so close. Fucking lily plop. The fucking, it looks like a baby, right? I always think of a baby. I don't know why. It's so fun. It's so fun to play, and it's so difficult on this difficulty. But I will say on this difficulty to remind you that you can make it very easy if you want to enjoy it without the pressure of immediate death. It's so fun. The moment-to-moment gameplay is like, it's insanely addicting, I think. It's not even addicting, it's like just brilliant. And it has been a long time since I've played a new game, you know, a game where I felt like it's so different and elevates something I have experienced before. Usually it's just like, okay, this is nice, but it's just a little bit different, you know? But it's not like an elevation to a next level of fun for me personally, mostly. Because I'm very, you know, I'm very, how do you call it? Detail-oriented. Yeah, you can tell, yeah, see? When there is this icon, the game is basically telling me that it's not possible for us to jump on him. He's immune, I think. And I think it doesn't do any damage when you don't get the combo. Yeah, you can see when we're fast enough sometimes, it will tell us that it's not possible to jump on him because he's immune. That's really cool. Okay, so it's like you're stomping on somebody who doesn't, it's not possible to stomp on him. I would actually try to figure it out if we can also combo on a boss. You know, if it's possible to combo jump on bosses, which is kind of hard to figure out because we're just gonna get. I feel we're just gonna get fucked anyway. So. Yeah, and the game tells you exactly what they changed, so it's like, it's very transparent when it comes to difficulties. It's not like, oh, this is so difficult, but you're never gonna figure out why. It's actually just telling you straight up. Okay, so since this is the first guy, we're gonna try to get the enemies away here and just jump on him quite a lot. And they have friendly fire, so he just basically killed the guy. Yeah, you can tell. Now, this is cool, because on the boss you can tell we can actually jump a lot of on him, you know? You can see we can jump a lot on him. And the game will tell us it's not possible. I think we can't double jump on him, right? Yeah, it's really well made. It tells us we cannot jump on it. Okay, that's cool that we learned that. Okay, I'm just trolling at this point, but I think we cannot... Wait. I think we cannot jump 2 times on him. I think it's not possible to combo on him, which is really cool. It's really, really well made. You can actually tell that the game was made in a way that prevents you from just spamming. Why is it important that you cannot jump permanently on him? The reason is pretty simple, because we just could be... you would never die, because you are basically full of iframes while you jump, so you cannot die while jumping. So this, like this here, is basically, they can't do anything because I'm not gonna take any damage. And if that was possible on a boss, it would be fucking stupid, you know. The only thing you can do on bosses is use them as, you know, to get a little bit more iframes by jumping on them once. But you just can't do a double, you know. Yeah, and also enemies have shields, you know, so jumping is also good against that, and it's so smart. And these enemies also only make sense in context of jumping, because they don't die, and they can kill you. You know, these bubbles here, they do damage. But why are they there? They're there to, you know, allow you to go for combos, you know, basically. These guys here. And once you use them for a combo, you can tell they disappear. So usually they don't give a shit. You can tell, you know, he doesn't give a shit. But as soon as you use the combo on him, he's like, oh shit, you know, I'm gonna disappear. Okay, well, maybe it's just because you do damage to them. I don't know. Actually, maybe you can just despawn them anyway. Maybe I should treat them as enemies. Okay, they're bone slippers, a fire button. Buttons are also a mechanic which only makes sense in the context of jumping on things, because it will randomly spawn a button on the ground and you can jump on it, and then there will be an effect. For example, here there will be fire. And what's also cool, you can tell there is a theme, you know. This mask is something that indicates a fire effect in the game, you know. And you can have it as a pet, you can have it as a button, whatever. It's very consistent. And the pepper is for melee weapons only. And the slippers here, the slippers, they're basically, you know, when you jump on something. So we're gonna use it. And we have combos and bones. And we only get it when I think we combo. We can just spam it the entire time and go like, okay, I'm just gonna, you know, spam, spam, spam. But we have to actually think about... Wait, didn't I pick up the ammunition? Yeah, and also ammunition is like really, really well designed. You know, it's not something where you feel like you're going to be fighting over the entire time. The game is really focused on you having fun and killing stuff and being good, you know, and not thinking about, you know, oh, do I have still 3 shots left or whatever. And it depends on the weapon, of course. There are weapons which empty themselves pretty quickly. Okay, so now we basically freed the area and we can go to the next one, or we can just go here. Yeah, and if you like screen shake, by the way, you can change everything. The option menu is phenomenal and just reflects how well the developers know which parts of the game you can tweak as a user to increase your own fun, you know. It's so rare to see an early access game, especially indie game, which has so many good options which all make perfect sense. And yeah, and the thing is, we really are low in HP again. Which is no problem, because we're just gonna get healed up anyway. Now we have the micro. I don't know if the micro is a new Uzi, I guess, or however you call it. Yeah, so the jumping mechanic is fucking brilliant, and it also saves you a lot of ammo if you learn to use it. And there are different bosses, I think maybe 2 per biome, and now we're just gonna spawn 2 anyway every time, so it might take away a little bit of variety if you only have 2 bosses, but they might add more in the future. So keep in mind that this is early access, and it's not even in early access since a few months actually. I don't know how long they developed the game before, but if you care about the development, and if you're not, you know, if you're curious how they developed the game, you can actually go on their YouTube channel and follow the entire development of the game. Yeah, they're 2 brilliant young guys. Guys, maybe? I don't know. Even if they're guys, you know, people. It's been a while since I looked at their YouTube page, because I usually like, and that's me, I like to obfuscate the developers before I actually beat the game. because it's like, you know, then you know who you're up against. You know, I don't want to know who I'm up against until I beat him. It's kind of a weird thing, you know. I like to not know much about developers for whatever fucking reason. You know, I like to have a little secret. You know, the mystery, you know, the mystery. I don't know who I'm fighting against, but if you know, oh, this guy made the game, then maybe you're like, ah, yeah, sure. A guy like that probably would make this, and this decision. And I don't want to know that. I just want to enjoy the game, not expecting anything because I already know how the person thinks. Yeah, but that's just me. If you really are curious, you can get a lot of cool info. Maybe if you want to make your own game, I'm pretty sure that they're fully disclosing their development process. So if this gun is fucking cool. Like, okay, I know we have 2 of these guys, which is fucking annoying, but I guess it's okay, maybe. Okay, now I just think it's better to run away, actually, even though they're not full HP, because both are there. So now we have a reason not to fight too long in an area, because we're never sure how long we should fight. And the answer obviously is until we get one of them. It's so fun. And why did I disable screen shake? Because you actually, the guns, you know, they basically, I don't know how to say it. Some of them have knockback, yeah, and knockback is basically like screen shake when you're playing, you know, a game. It's like in real life, the only screen shake you have is basically knockback from your body, and here is basically the knockback from the guns, which is inherent anyway. So, yeah, we died. Why? Because we try to think. As soon as you think, you lose. It's actually a game where you have to be very focused at all times. On this difficulty. Again, this difficulty. The lower difficulties probably are chilly, you know. It's a game for everybody. It's a game for everybody. I can say that with in good conscience. I think it's like, unlike Dark Souls, and this is going to sound a bit mean towards Dark Souls, I think Dark Souls needs a higher difficulty because the game is pretty boring if you don't have a higher difficulty. This game is probably always fun, even if you have a higher difficulty, because the fucking moment-to-moment gameplay is so amazing. Because if you imagine you don't have to dodge in Dark Souls, and you just, you know, you play a melee weapon, you just spam over and over the attack button, because you don't have any reason not to, because you're not gonna die when you take damage, then Dark Souls becomes an incredibly boring game. That's what a lot of people don't get, is the difficulty needs to be in the game for Dark Souls to work. This is but why can't we just, you know, get it a little bit easier or whatever. The thing is, as soon as it becomes too easy, and Dark Souls is already kind of easy most of the times, then it really gets boring, because the moment-to-moment gameplay would become the most, you know, boring, sluggish gameplay of all times. If there are, you know, you just hit and hit and hit and you don't dodge, it's just boring because the moment-to-moment loop is not engaging. And when it's too, you know, too easy. And in this game, I think even if it's very easy, you're gonna have a great time. It might not be as, you know, stressful and engaging, and maybe you could, you know, tweak Dark Souls like plus minus maybe 25% or something for people who don't want to get good. But I think also the accomplishment in Dark Souls plays an important role, you know, and like in this game as well. A snake button sounds really fucking stupid. Yeah, longer range is always good, because a lot of guns in this game have a very limited range. And that's really good, because it forces you to get up close and personal with the enemies, not just snipe them over the entire screen. And you can also set up stuff like, I can just show you, I mean, like actually just show you. Here, you can do the vertical camera pan range. You can actually set the aim speed, camera speed, dead zone. What is aim speed, by the way? You might be wondering. It's how fast the crosshair follows your stick. It's basically input lag. If you want to, it's input lag, which is why I definitely would recommend you to put it at 100%. Unless you have very shaky aim and you can't, you know, use your sticks or mouse. You can also play with mouse and keyboard. I don't know. It probably also has good settings for that. And I mean, probably there is a point to be made that twin stick shooters might actually somehow be better on, you know, on mouse and keyboard. But the thing I really hate about mouse and keyboard is the lack of analog walking. And I think if there was an option for analog control when it comes to walking, just like, you know, the mouse is also analog movement, I would probably to be honest, play. I would probably play a lot more mouse keyboard games, also in action or adventure games. But you know, controller is just fun to play. And here, you know, you have also this jumping part or whatever. It just feels really good. A thing the game does not have is the oh shit! Whoa, that was fast. It's gonna kill us, right? We're so dead. We're not dead. Should be dead. Okay, we're gonna run away. The thing the game also has is my brain is dead, so I can't really say what I want to say. But yeah, it doesn't have, you know, small analog movements. Maybe I'm wrong. Wait a second. No, I'm right. Yeah, so it basically has very good dead zones, which you can set up, which is a critique I have with other games of the genre, which don't offer that option, because every controller is different. So you can't really say, hey, I'm gonna use X, Y, Z. You know. Wait, did you just destroy my weapon? No, right? You can't do that, right? you can, right? Maybe you can. I don't know, when does the other guy spawn? Okay, somehow randomly maybe? It really took a long time for him to spawn, if I'm honest. Okay, so what I wanted to do is actually take the bow, because I think the bow is a very good weapon. Maybe not, actually. Maybe it sucks. Okay, very nice. We just defeated one guy. Wow, one shot. Oh my god, you fucking one-shot us. It's really funny to play this difficulty mode because you just, you know, it's like everything's going fine, you're dead. Okay, but I think we explained a lot about the game so far, and we're just gonna focus on playing it now. Hopefully that will work out better. But sometimes, you know, when you're talking, you do some things better than when you're not talking when it comes to reflexes, because you just, you know, you use what is natural to you. But you often make a lot of stupid mistakes, like the one we just made. I really hope we can beat this difficulty so we can check out the highest one at some point. One hit almost killed us, that's great. I mean, the game also says that mistakes will cost us greatly, and that's true, they do. A lot of HP at least. Yeah, we're dead. We're dead. I mean, that's to be expected. I mean, we're actually just getting fucked by the game. I think it's almost coming close to not being a no-hit. It's coming close to being a one-hit run, you know, you just can actually use one. These guns tend to be very inconsistent, unfortunately, because they have a snake proc, I think, whatever that is. Yeah, it's actually funny to see how much worse it is than a shotgun, because the shotgun is super reliable. I really like it, because it just basically insta-kills everything immediately. I'm dumb. But the small bullets, they don't do a lot of damage, so we're fine. Usually I want to go for full HP, but here I'm like, I don't know, HP is going to drop more often than when we drop HP, so why not go for ammo? And it's also the first non-jump and run game where I feel it's really fun to jump on people. I don't know, it's just really fun. Hurricane Soul or Bat Slippers? I think actually the Bat Slippers only work when you have a combo. And Wait, what does this one do? Beams from the core. What does it mean? The game is also very transparent when it comes to telling you about the different, you know, the different types of items you can find. So some of the deadly beams light surges out of the beacons. Don't worry, it can't hurt you, almost as if somehow they know. Oh, okay, so it's basically we basically created turrets out of the beacons. The beacons are the part where you can unlock this one, you know, this thing here becomes a beacon, and now the beacon can actually shoot at things. And that's what I meant by brilliant design. It has so many interesting ideas which I've never seen in other roguelikes. And, or maybe I didn't see that. And there are so many roguelikes by now, I'm probably sure almost every idea has been put to use in some fashion. But I think they really nailed, you know, the integration of everything, you know. How the entire game is just... it's spot on, and you know, it's really well made, and I really don't mind dying a lot in this game because it's not frustrating to start over. It takes so little time until the run is fun again. It's actually fun the moment you start because the basic mechanics are just fun. Let's just get rid of the shotgun because I want to play with the snake a little bit. You know, I like playing with my snake. And... it's such a great design to have the combo meter. I just want to look up something, but I think we can't do that while the enemy's here. The next time we have an opportunity, I want to know if we do more damage if we have a higher combo. Oh, did you see we just got shot by the beacon? That's cool. Yeah, and also the ability to sprint is really cool. Okay, the snake gun is amazing against bosses. So we're just gonna run away. Enable the beacon, because the sooner we get the beacon, the more it can help us. Shoot, you know. Oh no, that's bad timing, because I just was about to combo the shit out of these guys. Oh no, 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 what's happening? Let's shoot some snakes. Where is he? Bitch. In here. Yeah, and don't forget, you don't have to fight 2 bosses by default. It's an unlock and it's also optional, but it's very, I think, important to get used to it, because in the late game you're gonna fight multiple bosses anyway. So the extra HP are gonna come in handy quite a bit, I would believe, especially in this difficulty mode, where you basically don't have a lot of choice when it comes to getting more HP. Because the game is very, very different. I don't know if you get bonus HP for being no-hitting a level. Actually, I don't know if the game is made that way. But I think the main mechanic is by either trading in upgrades you already got, or you can get 2 times the same boss. That's cool. That's cool, because that means there's going to be a lot of variation anyway. Because you can get at least 3 permutations for the first floor. Oh no. No, 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 not like this. Okay, we need more HP. That's good, because you just have to run around and break stuff. There is a point to be made, by the way, that you can really min-max some stuff, like, you know, not breaking stuff so you can get more HP when you need it. But I would say, on average, you don't need to do any of that. You just can, you know, enjoy the game. Get the fuck out of here. Kinda stressful to play, but in a fun way. Positive stress. Okay, I really would like to go to a shop just because you can't get fucked by the bosses, and we have a small amount of time to look up what anti-void combo strike actually does. Charges the power of anti-void within and landing on the ground releases it. I don't know, maybe it gets stronger and stronger the more combos you do, but it seems to be very strong already at a 2 combo. Oh no, we don't have enough, right? No, we could buy a very good weapon, maybe. But I would like to come back. But there is also a point to be made not to come back, because once we beat the boss, we can actually just... go and feed the void. Oh, and I might have a fix for Battlefield. I'm not sure. I didn't try it out. I just installed it yesterday. I just set it up, not really install. Okay, this is like the worst arena I could imagine to fight anything in the game because it's so small. Okay, we really need to go and unlock these fuckers so we can get away here. Okay, we can probably just throw away the shield, I would imagine. And we got a shotgun, which I don't want to use because I really like the snake. It's very consistent so far. I mean, it might get stronger over time. Probably does. Otherwise, there would be no reason to even implement a combo system. Yeah, and there's a point to be made not to go up before looting because the bosses are gonna spawn. Okay, we can... maybe that's good. It might be good. I mean, this one is very nice, actually. When I think about it, I think this one might be better. But since the snakes are very slow, I think also faster bullets and more range can be very helpful to actually even hit the enemies. Okay, we really have to make sure that we kill as many people as possible before we die. Okay, now we unlocked the HP. It took a bit too long, actually. We should have done that before. Okay, nice. And now the boss is going to enter his final phase, which is good for us, maybe. I don't know. No, it's not good. Okay, now we're just going to hope they get hit by the snakes. If they don't. I mean, it's going to be a good achievement, even beating the first bosses on this difficulty with 2 bosses spawn. I think 1 boss we would have already won, probably, by now. Why the fuck is there an enemy? Okay, we just spawned the other guy. We just have to focus on this one, because if he's dead, we're basically up against 1 boss, which doesn't mean we're gonna win, you know? It's not for sure. But he's crying. Why are you crying? Your mate is still there to carry you. Okay, now what happened is that the boss ran away, and we can look where he is. He's on the right side. Yeah, so the bosses run away, and that's really cool because the mechanic at first, I was like, why would they run away? But if you can spawn 2 at the same time, this makes perfect sense because you can actually split them up that way. It's such an interesting design, which only becomes apparent the longer you play. Because you can't do that at the start, it's something you have to unlock to fight 2 bosses. So it's like a roguelite, you don't have the same experience from the get-go. Yeah, so if you don't know the difference between a roguelite with a TE and a roguelike with a KE, is that roguelikes are defined as a game which never increases between runs, changes between runs. So when you start the game for the first time or the 500th time, you don't unlock anything. The game is always the same. And a roguelite is a game where you have a meta progression. For example, you unlock new items like in Binding of Isaac, or you unlock new enemies or whatever. Or you just like have Hades, which is an extreme version of a roguelite, where you really get more powerful by upgrading your character over time. So there are very different games in roguelite genres and also in roguelike genres, but it's important to know the difference, because if a developer knows the difference and makes a roguelike, you might not enjoy the game as much, because some people are all for the progression and unlocks, and others are for, you know, the core gameplay that never changes. And I like a mix of the two. I actually, and now that's maybe a bit of a controversial opinion, I really like Hades, but I don't like the... I also like getting stronger in the game, but I feel it's a bit cheap, you know, it's like making the game longer. Also Rogue Legacy, for example, has a lot of power progression, which basically makes the game a lot easier the more you play. It's also fun, but it's also very, you know, it's a very different experience. And I, for the most part, probably prefer having a rogue light with very light progression elements when it comes to raw power. I'm more about the variety, you know, that you unlock more variety and not really more power, because it just makes the early game feel very cheap. Okay, so now we can actually leave the floor. And now is the moment where you can, you know, chill out. There's no boss sunning you. You have a bit of time to think. Like basically like in the shops or whatever. And here you have decisions which can be made, which will probably be important. Yeah, the price here is It's a bit, I think this is one thing they did not do well is, you know, you think, oh, I got a lot of currency, that's great. But what you did not see is that you also got a heart container, which is much more important. There should be like an animation which basically shows you, hey, you got more HP, because some people might miss it and think, I only got a little bit of money, I'm not gonna fight 2 bosses again, that's way too hard. Okay, so this guy here basically is like a gambling machine. You can just put in money until it pays out. And yeah, it's pure RNG. It could also fuck you over, but it's very likely to pay out after 3 times. So it's probably worth it if you know, if you're lucky and get good stuff. We didn't get good stuff. And the thing, you might wonder, oh no, he just dropped HP up here. We're never going to use that. But also this counts as elevation. So you're basically going to be in the next level, and you're going to have all the stuff that's lying around here brought to you in the next level. Okay, we can exchange power-ups if we want to. I really like the idea of the beacons. I really like them. Here we can exchange power-up for max HP, which I'm going to do actually because it's not that great. And that was the only way to get max HP before I unlocked the 2 bosses. And here we can sacrifice max HP for a power-up, which I would mostly not recommend, to be honest, on the higher difficulties, because every HP you get... I mean, depends. If you die with 1 hit anyway, maybe it's worth it. But I think it's basically not a good deal, because HP are so rare and power-ups are kind of more abundant. And not every power-up is like a game changer. Yeah, so we're gonna challenge the Voidigans to get more HP. And if that is the way to get additional XP and there is no incentive to never get hit on a floor, that would be amazing, because getting hit is so easy in this game, once at least, that it would be much more annoying than in Binding of Isaac to have no hit conditions. And just making it harder to get your reward, you know, it's like in Gungeon, for example, you have to no hit the bosses or whatever. And I feel that's bad design, and now I'm gonna tell you why. Because having a perfect no-hit run with the boss and rewarding that just means that the boss has to be designed in a way which might not be as hard, you know. They're pretty hard bosses in Gungeon, but once you know their patterns, they're pretty easy not to take damage from. And when you allow the player to use this mechanic, you know, the mechanic of HP to fight against bosses, it just feels bad to go defense, you know. In Gungeon, when you go full offense and you like insta-clip the enemy, that's great. But if you go a little bit more defensive by having more HP or whatever, or some more defensive items, it feels kind of bad, because you just know that you're basically going to have a disadvantage, because no matter how many hits you can take, you're not allowed to take a hit to play optimally. So basically it really disincentivizes builds which just make you more tanky. Here we have, we can get the bat hat. We just exchange them. Also when there's this void icon. Okay, this is just like a cat which scratches. And they're very, very interesting weapons here. The normal snake. Is there also a special snake? I wonder. What upgrades did we get? Oh, we got snake balls, so we can basically... I mean, we can try out the cat, but I don't think that snake balls work with the cat, so we just have to figure out if it's good. It might kill us, actually, to use it, because the cats are very... Oh, they just prevent you from going down. Okay, this is gonna be fucking AIDS to play with. I can already tell, I'm not gonna like this weapon. It's such a weird weapon. No, it's cool actually, but it's just a bit, you know, I don't know how to put it. Aggressive, maybe? It does a lot of damage though, so at least it's got that going for it. I mean, these caps are very tanky when they go down. I think they might just be more tanky when they submerge. So here we have Mr. Crystal. Nice dude. We're gonna... I mean, we might be very strong. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Our damage is kind of, you know, whatever. This is so risky, but it's working out kind of. I would prefer not to use the cat anymore. Yeah, you can spawn other guys. I don't even know why we're still fighting. We should be running away. But the other gun we have, I don't know. Is it good? That's a good question. We have a lot of money because we defeated the boss, so we can buy a lot of... It's very important, I think, to do double balls, because you just get so much good stuff. Orphan Ghost Boy is basically a fire rate upgrade. And Bounce Gel is pretty dog shit. Let's go for Thunder Soul. Electricity Storm, but it's always, right? Yeah. Very popular invention. I would believe so. If the more I play the game, the more I'm on board with all the jumping stuff. See, I think this is something I could not have developed, and I'm always very happy to find games which where I think I could not have developed the core gameplay loop, because I would probably never had, you know, I wouldn't have the balls to basically add a mechanic like jumping on the head to this game and integrate it into the core gameplay loop, because I would be like, oh, that's like, you know, distracting. I want to shoot people, whatever. And I wouldn't even have thought about, you know, doing it, because I would have thought, hey, I like jump and runs, but I'm not sure it's actually going to be fun in it. In a game, we could have prevented dying so easily in so many ways. Yeah, we died, it's okay. We're just going to play a little bit more of this game, and then we're going to move on to the next game. But it's basically, you know, it's basically nice to see people who actually try new stuff, which is not inherently fun. And what I would be great at probably is designing a well-made game in general. But probably, I don't know if I would be, you know, inventing the new next cool idea, which would probably just make a very good version of a already explored idea. Maybe good items or whatever, good synergies, stuff like that. I would probably also make something new, but I would probably not make a game which has a weird mechanic I would not associate with, you know, with the core gameplay loop of the genre, so far at least. And now that I've played this game, I would probably definitely put this mechanic in it, because it's so much fun. No, it would just be a ripoff, right? I mean, it's so special, but it's also it's kind of so cool, I don't want to miss it. I mean, it's really gonna be hard to go back to Enter the Gungeon or whatever after this one. It's basically like so much more fun. Which is so weird to say. I mean, Enter the Gungeon is still a great game, but and I'm pretty sure I would still have fun with it, just an over-exaggeration. But I think still that this game is definitely better. It's better in how it's, you know, thought out. But, you know, tastes are different. I'm pretty sure people will prefer the one over the other and not always have the same opinion. But for my part, this is exactly what I want out of a roguelike shooter. A twin-stick shooter. Okay, very nice. We should probably pick up the ammo and then get the fuck out of here. Oh no, what am I doing? Oh no, what am I doing? Actually asking to die. Why am I trying to kill that? Why did I try to kill the fucking worm? I didn't need to. The pure greed, pure greed. I should just have left the, you know, the floor, because I had the feeling we were gonna die soon there, and my brain was like, get the fuck out, and my other part of the brain was like, get the fucking loot, you bitch. And usually you should listen to the part that tells you to get the fuck out in that situation. Okay, we have found the shop right away, but the shop, you know, missing it is not a big deal, because you can actually just get, you know, the void at the end, so it doesn't really force you to backpedal the entire way there. And there's no fast travel in the game, which is, you know, a problem a lot of games have just... it's the problem that Isaac and other games have, where you just, you know, walk through a lot of empty floors. And this game basically doesn't have the issue, because the map layout is brilliant. You know, it's just like a circle with a intermediate room connecting the circle. And yeah, it's you know, you don't need a fucking fast travel if the game basically is designed to be fast to travel in. Yeah, which just shows how good the developers are at solving problems without resorting to stupid, you know, unlogical or unfun things. You know, it's never fun in a roguelike to actually TP. You know, you just do it because it's convenient, but it's not something you are like, oh yeah, it's so fun to teleport around, you know. It's just more fun than walking around, but it doesn't really solve the problem, you know. Oh, this is it's a very close-up weapon. Okay, so we unlock the bosses. We should definitely fight the first one immediately here. Just gonna look if there are still some enemies around. There are, and Mr. Taco is back. This is Kotaku. The argument. No. Yeah, so you can really fight up close. Actually, it's probably better for most bosses to just die instantly against them because you're just too dumb to play the game. Okay, we can get HP here. We did not get HP, which is okay, I guess. We really have to continue fighting even at low HP because when there are two bosses, it's going to be a lot harder. It depends on the weapon, but you can get really close and comfortable, you know, in their face. They're really happy about it. They like it, and I also like it. Why did I? It was a good decision, I think. Maybe. Actually, I don't know. We still didn't get any HP, which is basically the new difficulty telling us how about you get good instead of getting HP. I could have died there. It was just a moment away from dying. If this is like a nightmare city, only these fucking worms. Oh my god, the second boss is already there. The other one's also, I think, spawning. If this is gonna be 8s. Oh my god, this is hell on earth. And we still didn't get HP, which is very interesting to me because usually you get a lot of HP in the game. Even on the higher difficulty so far. Okay. This room is like basically a chill out area. You can just walk around, kill a few enemies. It's really funny how the basic enemies are designed in a way which they're still very challenging when you start out. But once you know how to deal with them with the jump mechanic, they become, you know, very easy to deal with. But you shouldn't forget that, oh, it's Twitch chat again. So now we're again playing with you. That's huge. Twitch chat. The run we won, we actually played with this minion, and it was one difficulty lower. So we just had to unlock this one first, and which is great, by the way. It's good that we couldn't just start off on this difficulty, but because honestly, I think the difficulty is way too high to start off the game with. I mean, you would probably miss a lot of fun mechanics and details because you're just busy, you know, not dying instantly. It's very well made in that regard because we really, oh my god, I'm gonna fucking die. I hate this boss so much. Oh, there are 3 bosses, never mind, they aim 3 first for bosses. We didn't die, which is weird, undeserved actually. Okay, I'm thinking about picking up the item. That's why I'm walking around in circles. We should get the fuck out of here. That was definitely not the right way to go, and we're gonna pay for that by getting fucked by the game. We have to hurry. Okay, so what we need to do is actually go to the room which contains the pylons, because we're gonna not be able to defeat the boss this way. Yeah, great. See, that's what I meant by probably it's smarter not to break the stuff in here to keep it as a potential HP regeneration tool. And I think there is no way to actually avoid that as a developer. You can't really, you know, and it's a very strategic thing to do as well. I mean, it's just something I will not be doing because I'm lazy. But if you're not lazy, you can actually really min-max these types of things. So it's always, you know, I always dislike when min-maxing is a must in games. When you really have to do everything to win, even if it's not fun. And I think Isaac is a great example where you can lose a lot of runs if you're lazy and you don't want to go gambling or whatever. Or you can, you know, you can get a big disadvantage. Here it's a very small disadvantage. It's basically like you can recover one hit or not. Hello, Zerolana. Zerolana. How are you? How are you feeling on this Sunday? Here it rained, I think, the entire last day and night. And I don't know if it's raining at the moment, but the weather has been pretty foggy. Why are you laughing, huh? Bitch? Yeah, see? I thought so. I mean, why not take Ghost Boy, actually, you know? Ghost Boy is cool. And, yeah, and see, it's a fire rate upgrade, but now we have a ghost that's spooking us and making us shoot faster. I think that's such cool design, you know? Even a boring fire rate upgrade is represented by a cool in-game item, which is not necessary, you know? It's just a stat, basically. But it works, you know? It makes you feel much more... Oh, that's cool. I never had that one. We're still finding new stuff. I mean, I was expecting to actually be already done with a lot of weapons. We're gonna die. We're so dead. Because I'm using a weapon which is completely weird to use, and... Oh my god, this is gonna be hell. Oh wait, we didn't unlock him? Oh shit. Wait. What? Oh no, we're dead. Oh no, I didn't expect to die like this. I expected to die. Oh no. It's so fun, but so difficult now. I don't mind the difficult, by the way. It's no critique. It's my personal choice, and I really enjoy it. Because we can basically get good by playing like this, because we can't afford to make any mistakes. Oh no, we're reloading. It feels so good. And here you can see the recoil. So why do I need screen check when the weapon already recoils my screen anyway? It's like basically, you know, and the visuals, it's such a great game. It's just so fun. Yeah. Summary of the stream: the game, so great, so fun. Really, I'm gonna make Janine play today. I'm gonna force her. I'm gonna sit behind her and be like, play the game or shoot you. No, it's been a very long time since I went to her and said like, hey, you have to try out this game. It's so fun. Because I didn't really have a lot of games where I said, okay, they're so fun. I mean, usually it's like Dark Souls, Bloodborne, or whatever. And she actually is always the same story. This time it's gonna be in English. The story about her beating Father Gascon in Bloodborne on her first try, something I did on my second or third try, and which is amazing, you know. She never plays these games and hates them, but she actually beats one of the harder early game bosses. I mean, you've seen people like XQC or whatever get fucked over and over by the boss man. He was like top 500 in Overwatch, and my girlfriend is like the most casual, chill player. She doesn't care a lot about competitive, you know. Sometimes in League she played a little bit of competitive. She's very chill and everything, and then she doesn't like Bloodborne. She doesn't like getting scared by games, you know. And basically it's like, you know, very, oh my god, so fucking stupid. It's basically very cool to see her fuck a boss, which a lot of people have problems with. Which just goes to show how cool these games are, because you might expect you're not good at them, and suddenly you're like god tier and better than your boyfriend, which plays them every day, and now he's sad and feels insecure. No, I'm joking. I'm very happy that she beat him first try. I was very proud of her. And she stopped playing afterwards, which is what I meant, you know. She doesn't really care. She doesn't care. She doesn't enjoy the game because she doesn't like to get scared. And unfortunately, Dark Souls has a lot of jump scares, you know, a lot of enemies which basically backstab you, and she doesn't enjoy that. So I can relate why she wouldn't want to go there. You know, play it. I'm thinking about what are we gonna do? Are we gonna play the skeleton? Are we gonna go hit them with bones? We didn't play melee for quite some time, and that is not because melee is bad. It's because I don't know. We probably won even a one, right? Where we had melee. I don't know. We should definitely try to. Reminder: never use melee again. No, I'm joking. That was my mistake. I was just, you know, my head was like thinking, did we use a weapon, a melee weapon in our one run that we won? I can't even talk anymore. Today is really a bad day. I'm kind of happy we're not streaming German, because it would probably be the worst German stream I've ever made, because I couldn't even think of anything to talk about. And when we're speaking in English, you know, I can at least tell the same story again, because it's for a potentially not new audience, but you know, potentially somebody's here who didn't hear the story. But I think this is a story you can tell, right? I mean, it's like, it's special to me. It's special that my girlfriend beat Father Gascon. No, I really wish she would enjoy the games more, so I can watch her play more of it. But yeah, it's unfortunate, you know, it's unfortunate that there's so much horror in it. But you know what, Elden Ring she's not gonna get away from. Elden Ring is going to be the first game I'm gonna buy her and play with her in co-op. Because I hope it works well in co-op. Actually, because, you know why I say that? Because I think they are putting a little bit more emphasis on fluid co-op experience in Elden Ring than in other From Software titles. And the last one was Sekiro, which doesn't have any multiplayer, so basically I'm really hopeful that it's going to be a fun co-op experience. And I hope she likes Voidigo as well. I'm gonna let her play on the moderate difficulty, not on the rogue difficulty, because I think she fits the description of somebody who doesn't play these games. Because she doesn't play these games. She played Hades, but Hades is not really a twin stick shooter. It's more like a melee. Well, it also can be a twin stick shooter basically, but it's very different from this game. So, and she also didn't finish it so far. So, red pepper? No, incendiary. I think we definitely have to go for something. We don't have to rely on luck if we get a matching weapon. I mean, we can take the Porker machine gun. I think it's very... It's not better actually than the basic shotgun, I think. I think it's a very good weapon, don't get me wrong, but it's probably not the first choice I would have when I could pick a weapon. Okay, now let's just focus on the enemy here. Our damage is good. It's fine. It's gonna be fine. I think they might have a little bit less HP, but I might also just be imagining things. I mean, it could be. I mean, we're doubling the amount of enemies, so why would they just basically put 2 HP bar there? 2 HP bars there. But the thing is, the game at the moment, I would assume it will be a bit longer when it releases, but with 2 bosses, I think that also makes the run length a little bit more interesting, because you just have more time in which you can spend on a single floor. Okay, now we have 2 enemies, which is okay. Yeah, basically, I think as soon as there are 2 enemies, you should actually not fight them. I think that is a mistake we're making the entire time. We should just, you know, run away and... Oh my god, there's a gun, I don't know. Do we have 2? Let's get the fuck out of here. Okay, do we have a second gun? We do. I think the shotgun's pretty nice, but we just didn't find the time to pick it up. Oh, now we're gonna die? No. No, not this one. Oh my god. I'm having problems defeating normal enemies. That's usually the sign to not play anymore today. It should not be an issue for me to defeat these guys. Okay, they're both there again? Really? That's fucking unfortunate. Okay, let's get in here and... maybe we should have waited a little bit. Okay, let's try to beat the first bosses, right? We did it once, so I'm kind of proud. It's better than yesterday at least. Okay, we also have HP, but we should definitely pick up the ammunition. Okay, so what do we need? I think that actually the electricity button is kind of whatever. We should have picked the discount, but it's 10% discount. It's not so good actually. I think the discount is a bit too weak. It should be 25% if I'm honest. I think 10% in the game is probably not enough. Okay, we have a formless play. Wait, we can despawn bosses by going underground? That's cool to know, because that means we can actually avoid fighting 2 at the same time. We have to go to the bottom. Wait, there is a question mark. Wait, what? Oh no, there was a question mark. Okay, never mind, we're done. We can't go back because we're gonna be locked in here. No, are we? Oh, we are, right? Yeah, we're not gonna get out anymore. So basically we fucked up the exploration, but I mean, it might be one item we don't get, which might change our entire run. Because every item kind of changes the run. Okay, we have to take the ammunition again. But we don't have to, but I want to. Okay, we should probably unlock the HP first, before we fight them. Sounds like a good idea. Now we can actually go and fight this weird thing down here. Bitch. How much HP do you have? Oh. Okay, let's fight the matriarch first, or whatever. We're fucked, man. We're so fucked. We're gonna have to fight both of them at the same time. Wait, no! Oh, I'm stupid. We should definitely only fight one of them at the same time, because why would we enrage both of them? That's definitely not the right play to do, right? You don't want to enrage both enemies, so we're just gonna fight that one. Oh, okay, we're learning new strategies. which will hopefully, oh my god, avoid us. Oh, it's so fast. What a fucking bitch. Nice, we defeated one. Very good. I mean, they ran away, so we should probably proc both. It was a mistake, probably, not fighting the other one. Okay, they can spawn enemies, I guess. I have no idea. Why the fuck are they there? Okay, but we're not done yet, so we can actually go back. Oh, that's great. Now we can go back and... Wait, why is there a question mark here? Do we want to fight him here? I mean, we could still go and explore the other thing. We didn't explore all the rooms, which is pretty weird, right? Oh no, maybe it's the gun muncher? Wait, how can I tell? Maybe it's not the pylon actually, but it's just in general, when there's a question mark, you're not done exploring, which is cool to know. Yeah, I mean, it's just one boss, but it's still one boss on the higher difficulty. So it might still be very annoying to fight. Oh no. Oh no. No! So close. Oh, fuck me. Oh, I didn't know he would hit me. Oh, I wasn't expecting it at all. Okay, so you just had breakfast, and yesterday you went to a dance, and you met a lot of people you didn't see in a long time. That sounds nice, but it also sounds Monka-esque because we have like the worst pandemic situation in the entire world, probably in Germany at the moment. No, not in the entire world, but we have a very, very bad situation at the moment. So I would probably recommend people not to see each other too much. You know, I mean, it is what it is, and I would assume that you're vaccinated anyway, but yeah, the problem is we're gonna have a huge problem. The people are just, you know, there's not gonna be a lockdown. Yeah, sure. Like, we're just gonna let people die because the hospitals are full. I don't think so. Yeah, so it's gonna be a very very rough winter, that's for sure.